Hey crafters, it's Janet with Crafting It Up and Creations. So coming at you today, this is week 8 in my 2019 Make It Merry Ornament series. I can hardly believe that it's already at the end of September. So, as you know, for crafters, we all like to get ahead of the game or try to get ahead of the game for crafts that we're going to be doing for Christmas because it always gets here before you know it. So this week's ornament is going to feature coasters that I have gotten in the past from the Target dollar spot. And I've made these into ornaments. Now I have a video out not too long ago that is part of my Farmhouse fall series, and it was a Pinterest inspired charger plate that was from the Target dollar spot that I turned into wall decor. And I'll link that video up in the iCards above if you're interested, or once you watch this video, I'll even try to link it in the description box down below. So if you're interested in seeing how I put that together, it's kind of similar to what I've done with some of the ornaments. Now you don't need to have these coasters. You could use any other type of little coasters that you may have on hand. These just happen to have that little wood grain look on the one side, but it does appear that they're kind of like a press board. Now I think these are so pretty, and I've gotten different sets in the past. Like this one says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." It's got that cute little saying on it. And then there's one in here in the set that has a little Christmas tree up in the top part of it. And it's kind of etched in, but there's so many different ways that you can cover that up if you want to. And I'm going to give you a couple different ideas of things that you can do with these or other little wood rounds that you buy. I'm kind of hoping that the Dollar Tree will even bring some out since they've been doing all those color your own ornaments, that maybe they'll just bring out a simple round shape. If you could get 5 of those for $1, what a great deal. Now I'm going to use 2 different stains, and I'm going to show you the look between the 2 of them, but I've got Varathane in the Jacobine, and then I've got the Minwax in the American Oak. And here are the wood rounds. Well, they're coasters. And this is the difference between the colors. So the one on the left is the Jacobine and the oak is on the right. Now I even decided to use some of these on the little wood pieces that are from the Dollar Tree. That bigger tree is from that set. And then the 2 smaller ones are from a little set of wood pieces that I got from Joann's last year. Tuesday Morning has a bunch of different ones as well that if you have one of those near you, you can maybe look for them at. So the one on top is the one that's not finished. I didn't use anything on it yet. It's just the plain one, and then the oak and the Jacobine are under it. Now I'm going to take some painter's tape and go across the one that I did with the Jacobine. And I even used the tape to kind of hold it down just a little bit. And I'm going to take this Candy Apple Red from Arteza. It's an outdoor acrylic paint. Of course, it's indoor outdoor. And I'm going to paint across the bottom where that tape hits and at the top. And I just wipe away the paint that got on the sides. And I pull the excess paint as well from the top. But otherwise, it's all the pure paint itself. And then I'm going to pull up that piece of painter's tape before it completely dries. And that's what you're left with. So you have that one little open area. Now I do the same thing with the little wood round that looks like the candy cane. I paint it and then I pull off that excess paint. And it kind of gives it a little faded look. Now I'm going to take some of the same Candy Apple Red and I'm going to water it down and paint it across this little coaster. And it looks like a really nice red. I'm trying not to get it on my fingers. I'll wear gloves and then I'll forget to put them back on because I'll have to go do something else in between. Now with this, I wipe off the excess, and I don't think it's dark enough. But I am going to show you the comparison between the original wood round itself and then with the paint on it. And you can definitely tell it has that like red tint to it. But I didn't feel like it was dark enough, so I'm going to go back over it again, add a little bit more paint so it's just a little bit more darker. I'm still going to water it down, and I'm going to paint it across it. And I'm going to let this one set for just a little while in hopes that it'll kind of soak in a little more. And then I decided that I really love that candy apple red, so I thought that I would paint over one of the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas ones as well. And I just love how that came out. Now I'm still going to take a damp paper towel and go across this and just kind of wipe up the excess. I really want to see that wood grain through it, and I want the red to almost appear like it was a stain that was put on there. And these acrylic paints from Arteza, I'll leave a affiliate link down below. It's of no extra cost to you if you're interested in them. But you could do this with just about any acrylic paint that you have. So here's the different look in the three that I did with the candy apple red. You can create so many different looks with these and have a lot of fun with just, making it just a little bit different. Now I'm going to use some of the scrapbook papers from that pack of plaids that were from Michael's that I used in last week's video. And I'm using the remainder of the paper. And I cut out a bunch of different rounds. And I'm going to use this stamp set from Paper Sweeties. And I'm going to use the word believe in this VersaFine black onyx ink. And I'm going to stamp down that word believe on the wood round. And it has that Rae Dunn look font that's so popular right now. And that's what that looks like up close. I love, love, love how that turned out. And then I'm going to take some matte Mod Podge. Doesn't really matter if it's matte or not because I don't put it on top of the paper. I just put it on the back part of the coaster. And I try to put in a good decent amount. I go all the way to the edge, put a little extra in the middle. Push it down on there. You can lay it flat on your surface and kind of push down on it to make sure it goes flat. I also used the little acrylic block that I used to do the stamp to kind of roll over it and push it in there. And then take it and hold it to the opposite side as you're using a little sanding block or sandpaper, and go in the same direction that that piece of paper is. And it really adheres to that corner. Now these are little wood pile brass pieces. They're like handles. And I got these from Hobby Lobby. They were $1.99 and you get 4 of them in a pack. And I just added a couple of those to one of the red wood rounds. And then I finished it off with some of the plaid paper on the back. And these are picture hangers from the Dollar Tree. And I actually attached those with just a little bit of hot glue to the ornament itself to make it look like that was the original hanging element to it. And then there's what it looks like after I'm done. And of course, you can change the colors of those with spray paints and just make it a little bit different so it would match. Now this little windmill ornament I got from Hobby Lobby. It's $1.99, but of course all their Christmas stuff is 40% off. And I decided I thought that this looked really cute in behind or on top of that coaster. So I just actually hot glued this in place, and I left the hanging element to the top of it so you can hang it by that. Now these are just some different wood pieces that I've gotten from Joann's, but look how cute these are. I absolutely love the deer. This one's a little bit big. He was $1.99. And then the silhouette of the deer head. I've got a gingerbread woman and a gingerbread man. They are so cute. I love these little wood rounds. Some of these are only 99 cents. And Joann's comes out with these every holiday-ish season. There were some out for Halloween. There have been some out for fall. And soon, I'm sure they'll have some of these for Christmas. So I did use the wood stain on the little gingerbread man. I've cut a piece of that scrapbook paper and added it just to the bottom edge. Added a bow, a couple of my rusty bells. I'll link that video up here as well in case you're interested in that, on how I make my rusty bells. And this one is actually probably one of my favorites. I love, love, love him. I accidentally got a little bit of stain on the scrapbook paper. So I took the paper towel and added a little bit more stain to it and rubbed it across the scrapbook paper and thought that just made it look a little bit more worn. And like I did it on purpose. I added a little sled to this one. It had a little place at the top that the sled already had the jute twine on, so I just let it overhang just a little bit. Added a rusty bell, some pine cones, and a little bit of greenery to it. That one I added, that green tree is from the Dollar Tree, and I added a little reindeer over top of it. Made a bunch of little different ones, and I'll show them at the end just a little bit slower. And then I did add a bow to that little half piece of windmill. And I'm trying to make up my mind as I'm doing some of this if I want to add anything else to it. But I ended up not doing it. But let me know if you think it's missing something. And as you'll notice, I'm using a lot of the same things that I have already purchased this year to go along with things that I've already had. So the ribbon, the little windmill, the scrapbook papers that I also used in last week's ornament. I'm trying to tie a lot of all these things in together because if you're like me, we have a lot of craft things at our disposal, so it's always good to go through and shop your stash. I mean, that's just so ideal. And if you're like me, I have a lot of cool things that I forget about until I go and try to create like little ornaments like these. So I made that one to look kind of like a tray, and I thought adding little Christmas cookies to it would just be way too adorable. So I did glue a couple of those on, and I used my white Signo gel pen to fill in to look like the little icing on them. And then I added a little rolling pin. I was going to try to make it a little bit darker on the edges, and I may go back and do that. But I think this came out just too cute. I thought about adding the little mixer to it too. I thought that was super cute, but then I thought, it's too much. I might add that to another project. But I absolutely love, love, love that. Now I have to admit, I think my very favorite one is the bigger gingerbread man. I'll show that one to you here in a minute. I used some rope cording that's in a grayish color for the hanging element on this one. I just added a little coffee cup one to this one. I thought that was cute. And a couple of the rusty bells. If you have a favorite of one of these, you'll have to let me know. I absolutely had so much fun creating these. And see, I blocked this off with the plaid paper and then put the matching paper on the back of that as well. And then there's the one with the little sled. So please let me know if you like these type of videos. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. And that way you'll know when a new ornament video comes out. I did use some of the little wooden beads to make a hanging element. Some of them were the jute cord. Some of them I ended up using the ribbon. They all came out just super cute. I absolutely think this one though is my favorite right here. Some of these are so fun. I absolutely love the way they came out. So anyways, thanks so much for stopping by and spending some time with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend, and I hope you get a moment to craft it up. Take care.